Welcome, YouTube. This is my story from flipping donuts in a family of 12 to a mid 8-figure exit, and why I started this channel, and how I hopefully can help you, the viewers, on YouTube. So a little bit about my story. I grew up in a big family, delivering donuts, working out of a donut shop, and folding newspapers and delivering newspapers in a family of 12. Always had that hard work ethic, but wasn't so much into education. Barely graduated high school, and then managed to make it through college. Got a degree in microbiology, ended up working for the Department of Toxic Substances Control as a hazardous waste scientist. And I tell you this story just because, that's my upbringing. And this is right around the new millennium, actually. But right after college, I got married. We had some children and had a busy family. And then I noticed, I'm working as a scientist, and my little brother is younger than me and driving a sports car, didn't even go to college, and was selling products online. So I started thinking, okay, there's some sort of mismatch here. And I started burning the midnight oil and just learned the online business. Again, right around the year 2000 at this point, and started understanding SEO and just randomly searched up which categories were trending at the time. Back in the day, in the Yahoo search engine, at the bottom, they would show the trending searches. And so I noticed portable air conditioners was like the number 3 search at that point in time, probably middle of the summer. There was a heat wave. I had no idea what a portable air conditioner was. I had no idea what a purchase order was, but just called up Grainger, which is, it's a huge industrial supplier, and wanted to buy some products. And they said, "Who are you?" And I just kind of introduced myself. And anyways, they said, "Send over a PO." And I go, "What's a PO?" So I had to ask some friends. I knew science, but I didn't know business at the time. Just basically work the business. So I kept working at night, and my wife and young family, and she was basically running the business during the day, which would mean answering calls, making shipments. We would actually get orders. She would go to the local Grainger, pick up the product, ship it, pack it, ship it. And then sometimes if she was late, she would actually have to track down a UPS truck. It was really, really funny. I mean, she'd be driving around the streets here in Fountain Valley, Huntington Beach area, and just find a UPS truck, flag them down, get the products in there, and get our shipments off. So those were kind of the early years. And then we were working out of a garage, and it was, we had packages lined up in front of the garage. And back in the day, and the UPS guy, would kind of roll up to the house. Usually they're used to picking up one product, and here's like 30, big packages in front of the house. And they were, even gave her a hard time. I remember a funny story is that the driver would not help her put the products into the truck. And as the business grew, about 2 years later, we had a really nice rep from FedEx come in. And I always remember just giving my business to FedEx from then on out. He was really supportive of the company and was there as we grew. But it was just a funny, those are the funny stories you remember. So anyways, look, we made it through the 2008 financial crisis. We did a big pivot in 2012. At this time, I had a growing family of 6, and 5 at that time, 6 later on. And basically having to figure things out along the way, but we made a big pivot to selling from 100% direct to consumer, all SEO, PPC, all of that type of, traditional online sales, to multi-channel. So understanding how to sell into Home Depot, Walmart, Target, Best Buy, all these guys, Amazon, everybody else. So the business changed. And then as we were moving, we went from 1,800 square feet to 4,000 to 10,000 to 20,000 to 30,000 to 80,000 to 120 to over 200,000. So we basically moved 7 times, I think, through the years, maybe more, maybe less, because there's, additional warehouses we would occupy for a little bit of time. So we just continued to move, made every mistake in the book, which is kind of, a nightmare at the time, but an area where I've gained so much knowledge, and I understand the experience of $1 million, and I understand, the experience of, well over $70 million of sales, and in what it takes on both ends of it. So as we were, we kept growing, made the pivot, really diversified our sales channels, grew an amazing team, had a global team, in Belize and in Mexico, and then worked with factories, all through China, and had a huge supply chain and bringing in tons of containers of product and a big footprint. And finally, I was able to exit. After COVID, the company continued to grow, and we were very profitable and doing really well. And I was so fortunate to exit. And at that time, I'd worked so hard, so I took a couple of years off, just wondering kind of what to do with my time. I became the head chef of the house. Kids weren't fans of my cooking. but did that for a couple of years and surfed and just did all the hobbies and fun family things. Through that time, continued to get questions from friends. Hey, what do you think about this situation? What should I do in this situation? Do you have any advice on how I can solve this problem? I found a great office. I'm not going to lie. I found a great office right down by the beach. I can walk to the surf and I can set up a, great studio setup in a fun work environment. And I thought, this would be a great environment to coach CEOs or to mentor CEOs. Coaching is kind of that word is maybe overused, but I think I can solve problems and speed up their process so it doesn't take as long as my start to sale took 20 years. With that, created a company called Surf Lab, and I'm going to be sharing my insights on YouTube and the other social media channels. That's my story. Hopefully I did it quick enough. I'll give you the longer version if anybody wants to listen to it, maybe in a different video, but really appreciate you listening to the story. Please subscribe, listen to my future videos, and take care.